Oh.
What is up? What is up? Welcome to the Cone Zone. I have got so much to cover tonight. I got to get rolling right away. As we do every week here on the Cone Zone, Beautiful Distractions Modeling Agency. They bring out one of their girls for me to interview tonight. Wow, what can you say? Would you help me welcome to the Cone Zone for a couple of quick minutes? Kat Munoz. All right, how are you?
Pretty good, you?
Good. Well, we went through hell to get this thing together, huh?
Yes, it took forever. And it's really hot in here, so.
It is hot in here. It's a good thing you're wearing next to nothing. It's perfect.
I guess so, yeah.
I'm the idiot. I've got 3 layers on. What am I thinking? I need to wear this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to need that visual. Stop it.
Maybe my booty shorts will look good on you. You never know.
Boy, there's a scary thought. Oh, my God. So, how long have you been with Jay Anthony?
Well, I met him about 6 months ago, and we've done a lot of work, runway shows, music video recently.
Oh, nice.
We did a celebration for Mardi Gras, body paint art, photo shoots. We do all kinds of stuff. Last night we had an entourage party.
Right, I was invited to that. We were running with the show and everything. I didn't get a chance to get out there.
You missed out.
I know.
It was really good.
We're going to the next one for sure.
It was really fun. We had a lot of people, photographers, press. It was really fun. It was a really fun night.
Is that just the hottest accent or what? Am I the only one sporting
Thank
woods
you.
right now or what? Oh, no. So, how old are you?
18.
18. Oh, sorry about that comment then. Police will be waiting for me later. Thank you.
I'm an adult.
Oh, you are an adult. That's true. You are legal.
Right.
It's not the 16 gets you 30 rule, I guess. Well, cool. So, are you dating? Are you single? Do you?
Yeah, I have a boyfriend.
You have a boyfriend? What does he do?
He goes to School of Mines. He's
School
in
of Mines.
college.
What's he studying?
Yeah, engineering.
Oh, nice. What do you do besides the modeling agency?
I work at a clothing store at the mall.
What mall do you work at?
Cherry Creek Mall.
Oh, Cherry Creek. Well, I can't give out the store where you work at.
Yeah.
I want to go to the principal's office again.
I figure.
So, well, that's cool. So if you get a chance to go out to Cherry Creek, go out and see Kat and tell her you saw her on TV. Anything you want to shoot out before we get into the monologue tonight?
Just to come check out the Beautiful Distractions website. We have MySpace, Facebook.
Exactly. Go to
We're
MySpace.
everywhere.
Exactly. Go to MySpace, Facebook. Jay Anthony's really good to the show. He's been a good guy to the show for a long time. So go to Facebook, MySpace. You can check out my site. I'll link it to both. So there you go. Give it up for Kat Munoz.
Thank you.
Cool. You're going to hang up here. Hang up here.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we got a shot now. Good deal. Tonight, actually, hold on one second. Hold it right there. Before we go any further tonight, I want to. Recently, we had a tragedy this week. I don't know, for those of you who are really into music. A really good friend of the show passed away earlier this week, and I know my guest tonight, Barry Fey, will agree with me. We are dedicating tonight's show to the memory of Ronnie James Dio, who passed away. All right, give it up. I spoke with Ronnie recently. He was actually scheduled to do the show during the summer. He was so psyched up about it when they were on tour with Black Sabbath this summer. They were going to be in Denver. He was here. He was booked. He was excited about it. And he just happened to pass away. And like I said, tonight, this is Kat, myself, Barry. We're going to dedicate this show tonight to Ronnie James Dio. So with that said, tonight I'm going to discuss a topic that everyone in this room and watching at home can relate to. The topic of music became universal when the Who started their first tour in 644 BC. I can't think of one person alive today who doesn't turn to a song or band when they're feeling down. Now, obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but for true music enthusiasts, the direction the music is heading in should be a serious cause for alarm. I'm going to give you 10 album titles, and I'm going to tell you what they all have in common. Michael Jackson's Thriller, Eagles' Greatest Hits, Led Zeppelin 4, Pink Floyd The Wall, AC/DC's Back in Black, Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Garth Brooks' Double Live, Shania Twain's Come On Over, the Beatles' Self-Titled, and Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. If you don't know, those are the top 10 selling albums of all time. What do they all have in common? With the dog shit that's passing from music nowadays, these albums are in no danger of dropping out of the top 10 list anytime soon. As a music fan and collector of over 2,000 CDs, it saddens me to see what has happened to the music industry and to my teleprompter girl. Anyway, forgive me, but I have to throw my 2 cents in here. Before I get too deep, I don't want to sound like the cranky old man, but when did music get beaten with the horrible stick? Most importantly, who's to blame for music as we know it sucking more than Ricky Martin at a San Francisco bathhouse? I have a few thoughts. I think record labels themselves have to shoulder a lot of the blame. Now, I don't know about you, but I personally refuse to pay $20 for a CD that has maybe one semi-listenable song on it. Do you want to know the last CD I paid full price for? The Best of REM, which I bought in 2003. For those who aren't very good at math, that was 7 years ago. Major record labels recently released a statement because of online downloading and an industry that's more watered down than a Pepsi at an all-nude strip joint. They are considering going back to selling 4- and 5-song EPs rather than full-length albums to try to increase sales. I mean, is that really the solution? EPs are great for one-hit wonders, but in today's music, one-hit wonders aren't even putting out that one hit. I guess what I'm trying to say is a pink sequin turd is still a turd, even at the nice price. And you know who else I blame for killing music? Hold on, honey. MTV.
Oh, man.
Ironically, the same network that took music to a new level in 1980 is also responsible for burying it 6 feet under. Some bands and artists made their entire fortunes because of MTV. Would anybody know who the Buggles were if it weren't for MTV? I happened to meet a member of the Buggles when I went to California recently. Yeah, Trevor Horn squeegeed my windshield on the corner of Hollywood and Vine before asking me for any Spains that I could spare. So I gave him $1, but only if he sang a few lines from Video Killed the Radio Star. While other neighborhood kids were playing sports, I was glued to MTV, learning about bands and their music. Thousands of great bands and videos of all genres filled the airwaves 24 hours a day. Now these historic clips are tragically locked away in a dark room like Charles Manson, never to be seen again. I flipped on MTV the other day, only to discover that this network has become one gigantic bimbo-mercial reality channel that has less substance than an Ethiopian stool. I don't want to sound bitter just because MTV rejected my show in 2002 and put the shitbag Osborne show on instead, but I would rather watch elderly humping on the hidden camera nursing home channel than mediocre television. Besides record labels and MTVs, the biggest music murderer, in my opinion, has to be the hype train known as the mass media. According to the media, Justin Bieber mania has begun. Now you see, I love Justin Bieber. I love everything about Justin Bieber. I know that Justin was born an only child in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, and his YouTube videos have more than 10 million views. You see, I can't get enough of Justin Bieber. You know why I'm a fan? Because the media is jamming Justin Bieber down my throat like a hospital tube after a Mama Cass ham sandwich gone wrong. And let me be the first to call this shot before someone else does. It's sad to say, but before Justin's testicles drop, he'll be in and out of rehab more than Dave Mustaine. I won't be shocked when Justin is found on his 21st birthday in some Detroit crack house with a heroin needle dangling from his junk. I actually feel sorry for this kid because I know it's going to end badly for him. And somehow I can remember the media telling me that Amy Winehouse was supposed to be the next icon, and we all saw how that turned out. She went from being the next Madonna to a bad punchline in just a few short minutes. Hell, I've taken steamers that have lasted longer than Amy Winehouse, okay? One person in this entire room caught that? You got to be kidding me. So let's keep that in mind every time the National Enquirer pastes Justin's head on Jewel's bikini body as the headline reads, Best and Worst Beach Bodies, okay? Another media sculpted clone that I hope disappears faster than a trailer in an Oklahoma tornado, Lady Gaga. Wow, how original is Lady Gaga, huh? We've never seen this act before. An outrageous female artist using the media to help pimp her out like an insecure hooker. How unplanned. See if these other female names mean anything to anybody. Janis Joplin, Pat Benatar, Deborah Harry, Courtney Love, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Marilyn Manson. Enough! This act is tired. The media is building Lady Gaga up to be the next huge superstar. So much so that concert ticket prices for her July 28th appearance at the Pepsi Center here in Denver range from $50 to $175 per ticket. This doesn't include taxes, fees, beverages, t-shirts, parking, and the 5-hour energy shot to help you stay awake through this crap. I don't want to... I don't want to show anybody wood. But no, I don't want to tell anybody what to do with their money. You've earned it. Spend it how you see fit. But if you pay over $200 a ticket to watch some hoochie lip sync her one hit, well, you need your fucking head examined. I wouldn't pay over $200 if Lady Gaga was naked on stage, deep-throating kielbasa as chimpanzees flew out of her crack one at a time like a clown car at the circus. Here's an idea. Rather than handing 2 Benjamins over to some corporate skank who won't be around after her crystal meth addiction and gangbang porn is released, take that money and help support a local band get their original music out there so they don't have to play Pour Some Sugar on Me on the weekends for a bar full of drunk sweat hogs whose dancing resembles a room full of Jerry's kids having an epileptic fit. I was looking over the concert list. I was looking over the concerts coming to Colorado for the remainder of 2010. A third of these acts, I couldn't tell you who they were if they held me up at gunpoint. Another third are going to have to comp a ton of tickets in order to get asses in the seats. And the final third were names that I couldn't believe were still touring. Tony Bennett, the Eagles, Foreigner, Styx, Kansas, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Blue Oyster Cult, and Rick Springfield are hitting the road this year. I did get quite a chuckle when I saw that Foghat will be performing at Harp's Riverwalk in Pueblo, Colorado on June 5th. Whoa, there's a righteous gig for you fellas. Don't spend that $28 dork cut in one place, okay? Maybe next year you can slow ride yourself to perform at the Tiny Bubbles car wash opening in Commerce City. And I realize that all these touring musicians who are in their twilight years are thankful that they get to park in the handicapped spaces at particular venues they're performing at, but when is enough enough? I get the fact that for many 60s, 70s, and 80s musicians, this is all they know, and many still do it for the blow money. Yeah, love of the music. I'm cool with that. But when you're Tommy Shaw and you have more money than what's hiding in Barbara Streisand's mattress, what the hell do you have left to prove? My guess is because music nowadays is like listening to kittens get run over by a lawnmower, the classic rock bands will continue to sell tickets even if they have to perform at 1 o'clock in the afternoon so their fans can still make the early bird specials at First Cafeteria. Here's a first sign of the apocalypse. Insane Clown Posse will be performing at Red Rocks on May 31st, 2010. The worst band ever in the history of music will be on the stage of one of the greatest venues in the country. Is this some kind of sick joke or misprint? We're handing the keys over to the Red Rock stage to these 2 untalented abortions who gave us the following lyrics. And I quote, ICP in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? All you bitches, man, come over to my house and I'ma take you upstairs and I'ma stick you with my wang. You know what I'm saying? I stuck her with my wang. And this goes on for 3 minutes. Damn. Even Right Said Fred thinks these guys' lyrics suck. I'm going to stick you with my wang. Here's a perfect example that no matter how unlistenable a band is, they can still be marketed to white, confused, suburban runaways and still make money. I still can't believe this will be on stage at Red Rocks on May 31st. Now, I'm not a concert promoter, so I'll just play one on TV. Red Rocks Brass, you should probably pay whatever Fleetwood Mac wants to perform on June 1st, just so you can cleanse the stage after this travesty. And if you're one of the unfortunate souls who calls up a radio station to make a simple song request and they offer to give you tent comp tickets to this donkey show, you can do two things. The obvious would be to say, no fucking thank you. But if you're that desperate for entertainment, my advice would be to sit as far away from the stage as possible, because I hear these guys permeate secondhand suck that's deadlier than lethal injection. Thank you. I'm also guessing that Insane Clown Posse, Freudian slip, must be part of some government population control project, as everyone who has ever listened to an entire album or went to a concert wound up sterile or hung themselves in the shitter knowing that they're giving money to music's bottom feeders. Here in 2010, the music industry has been flooded with rap hip-hop artists. Yeah, artists. Right. Before I forget, just a quick blast out to that untalented parasite Kanye West. I know, it's nice to know that Ray Charles took 40-plus years to achieve his legacy, and a 3-minute and 20-second rip-off, you managed to destroy it. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We'll all collectively look the other way if someone wants to sniper Kanye West. And don't worry, if you get caught plugging this a-hole full of lead, I'll personally make sure you get OJ's jury. That way you can walk faster than the guy with the crowning butthole on his way to the public restroom. I don't care how unpopular I may be with the young wigger audience out there, but I refuse to throw my arms around the rap hip-hop culture. To me, their acts are all the same. On every magazine cover, CD, jacket, and BET music video, you can guarantee you're going to see piles of cash, gaudy, overpriced, chromed-out vehicles, and bikini chicks jiggling their big, fat, stretch-mark asses like two Jell-O moles on a Port-au-Prince windowsill. And I just can't get enough of these rappers talking about how rough they have it in the hood, but at the same time wearing so much gold that it takes them an hour to pass through airport security. And I know a lot of these musicians grew up with nothing, and their sun is shining on their ass for 15 minutes. Well, good for them. Remember, it was me who said, enjoy the 5 Lamborghinis and your 30-room mansion now, because when the new flavor of the week releases his sound-alike single and your CD shoots straight to the 99-cent bin at your local Beaver, Utah gas station, you're going to end up in a position where you're going to have to melt down your gold teeth and pawn your dinner plate-sized gold cross so you can eat your bologna for the week, okay? And while I'm at it, get used to sitting in your one-bedroom apartment as you wait for Tyrone to come pick up his to-go crack order so you can scribble those 8 child support checks to the hoochies across America that you banged in the limo during your 15 minutes. I didn't know we were pro-hip-hop here tonight. What the hell's going on here? And for a karma goof, I want you to pull out those pictures of you and your gravy trains fanning out a fistful of Benjamins to the camera and realize that rubbing your fans' noses in it about how rich you are wasn't that great of an idea. And while I'm on the fan topic, just how stupid are you hip-hop fans anyway? Continually giving your hard-earned money to these ungrateful jailbird no-talents. Brighten the hell up. And most of all, tell Beyonce to go play an instrument or sit down and shut the fuck up already. With rap, hip-hop, cheesy teen, pop, and American Idol knobs making all the money, this poses the question, is rock music dead? Well, it may not be dead, but it has one foot in the grave and the other on Elvis Presley's greasy fried chicken stains that he left behind. And I can't tell you how I long for the good old days of Neil Young, the Beatles, the Sex Pistols, Led Zeppelin, and Metallica. Well, let me clarify, the pre-sellout Lars Ulrich suing 9-year-old Napster girls Metallica. As a lifelong fan, I ask, who can save us from this Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, Usher, Nas music hellhole we're currently in? Will it be the Deftones, Black Label Society, Dream Theater, or maybe Godsmack? In any case, it's pretty safe that the rock and roll defibrillator is on and jellied up because this genre is dangerously close to flatlining. As I wrap up, let me ask the studio audience a couple of questions. Did you know that Elton John is the only artist in history to have 3 #1 albums on the Billboard charts in a 6-month span? Did you know that the Beach Boys are the only band in history to have 4 #1 singles in 4 straight decades? Of course you didn't, because the only music news the media gives us is what Britney Spears ordered at Starbucks and whose baby batter Jennifer Lopez will be swallowing by her pool later that day. I have a plea for every serious, unsigned rock garage band watching me right now. It's up to you to get this thing turned. Stay committed to your craft. Don't let drugs, jobs, wives, kids, and egos derail you from your dream. Use free resources like MySpace, Facebook, and this show to get your music out there. We all have to stick together and help each other out, or we're going to be stuck with the Black Eyed Peas for the rest of our lives. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go purchase my $125 Jägermeister-sponsored Insane Clown Posse concert tickets at the Comfort Dental Amphitheater so I can whip my crank around during the mosh pit, during the I Stuck Her With My Wang encore. That's my take, but then again, what the hell do I know? Yeah. Tonight, I'm going to blow the building up. Before I bring Mr. Barry Fey up, we are going out right now live to X Saloon, where our band, featured band of the night, Rightfully Accused, is playing live. If you've never heard these guys play before, I would get out and check them out. They are possibly one of the best Denver bands out right now. This is their new CD, or their latest CD, Ready or Not. Pick it up online. Pick it up through me, wherever you need to get it from. Let's go out right now to Rightfully Accused. When we come back, Barry Fey, and give it up one more time for Kat. Let's go out right now to X Saloon, where Rightfully Accused is playing live. When we come back, Mr. Barry Fey is here. We'll be right back. television, I'm telling you.
That's a pretty good reception since you didn't even mention my name yet.
I was going to say, that was very unplanned. I want to thank Rightfully Accused. We will get back to them here in 1 second, but without further ado, my guest tonight needs no introduction. One of the greatest promoters ever in the history of music. We were just talking about it off camera. One of the greatest music promoters ever in the world. Give it up for Mr. Barry Fey.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, thank you.
Very nice. Barry, now you heard the monologue. What do you think? Am I pretty accurate there? Am I
Well,
kind of off a little bit?
I'm kind of sad now because I was feeling all right until I heard that, because that reminded me of how bad everything really is. I mean, my appearance today is superfluous after that. I mean, I might not have worded everything exactly how you did.
I know your temper. You would have worded it the exact same way.
No, I might have thrown something, but some of those lines were great. But what was it?
That's awesome.
As much substance as Ethiopian
Is an
turds.
Ethiopian stool. That's music today.
But yeah, you're 100% right. The only objection I had, as I told you, was bringing up the name Janis Joplin in that milieu of other women artists
Right.
who did have talent.
Right, exactly. Well,
But compared to what Lady Gaga, Janis is.
Oh, Janis is way above. What I was just trying to prove was it's been done before. I mean, we don't need, if you want to be a pop star, fine, be a pop star. But this outrageousness, it's been done to death. You know, don't.
But
there's no
they
need to
did
go
it.
that
It
far.
was real.
It was real, exactly. It was real.
They were outrageous people.
Exactly. It was. Today, it's like I said, it's all scripted. It's all commercialized. It's unwatchable. This music is unlistenable today.
It hurts. It genuinely hurts. I just started listening to music within the last few weeks on radio again because, it hurts.
Yeah.
I know people might not know what I mean, but if you grew up with the Beatles and the Zeppelin, the Who, and Jimmy and Jim Morrison,
The Stones and
yeah.
See, I grew up in the '70s. I was born in 1970, so I grew up with Elton John, Rod Stewart, Kiss, and then we went into the Eagles. Then we went into the '80s, and of course I got into the big hair music. That's the music that's genre I collect. And with the Motley Crue, the Guns N' Roses, the Poisons and things like that. And then you got into the '90s. Some of the '90s music was okay, but I mean the Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, stuff like that's okay. But I mean after that,
it's like Kurt Cobain, better or bigger in death than he ever would have been in life. Ever
Absolutely.
would have been. I mean, Eddie Vedder. I mean, Pearl Jam, excellent. But I mean, the last great. You didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you.
Go tell me.
Rock and roll band that I can never think of. And they are manic depressive heroin addicts, which is a shame, but it was Guns N' Roses.
Absolutely.
And before them, in 1980, you had U2. And since then, to me, you have nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing.
Absolutely. Now, you're good friends with Bono, right?
Yeah.
And you were telling me earlier before he had an accident.
Yesterday, right, in Germany, he was rehearsing for the tour and did something to his back and had to have emergency surgery. And it's really strange. I had 5-6 calls since then, since it came across the news. How's Bono? Like the first thing he's going to do when he gets out of, recovery is, Barry, I'm fine.
You can let everybody know I'm good now.
No, but it's they'll have to, I'm sure, postpone the tour because back surgery is nothing to mess around with. But
And Bret Michaels is in rough shape too. He had a stroke this week.
But he's all right. I guess he's recovering.
He's recovering. Was it
Again, Bono and Bret Michaels.
Oh yeah, it's two separate entities. Ronnie James Dio. I know you were a fan of Ronnie James Dio. Was that? I expressed it earlier tonight. That was just a huge tragedy that we lost Ronnie James Dio this week.
When you've been, I'm not trying to be somber, through so many tragedies. My first funeral was Jimi Hendrix, September 1970, and I've been to Ronnie Van Zant's funeral and so many, and I was a few blocks away when John Lennon was shot. And there's just been, I think the one that bothered me the most was Ronnie Van Zant's because he had no part in it. It was a plane crash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ricky Nelson, same thing. Plane crash.
Right, but he was before my time. I never knew him.
Yeah. See, I know his brother Gunnar real well.
I knew his father, Ozzy.
Ozzy, yeah. Ozzy and Harriet. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just, there's been so many tragedies in rock and roll. And where you had in the early days, you had great artists dabbling in drugs. Now, unfortunately, you have drug addicts that just dabble in their music. Right, yeah.
Exactly.
And that's why you have the quality you do.
Exactly. So I was on my monologue. I said, rock and roll is it dead in your opinion?
It's not even on life support. As we know it, yes, it's dead. And I get, since my ex-assistant put me on Facebook, I get all these.
Is that why she's the ex?
Well, no, I'm not in the business anymore.
Right,
no.
right.
But she wanted. I had a heart procedure, a small one, but she wanted me to be that. So all these people are my friends now. But I get all these. What can we do? The only message, and I don't think it can ever happen again, because the corporates and the record companies have killed it. But
exactly,
is to write. No, you can't do other people's tunes. You have to do your own.
Exactly.
And if you can't, there's nothing wrong with being a welder or getting a trade, because music, in fact, you know, and they think that I'm trying to avoid them or being modest. I'm not. If I managed what I thought was a hit band today, I would have no idea actually how to break them.
Sure.
I don't understand the internet. I don't know how to do it. I mean,
right. A couple weeks ago, I said it during one of my monologues. I said the best way to do it. I say the hell with record labels. Screw them. I say the best way to do it now. MySpace, Facebook, things like that. The Twitter.
Well, I'll take your word for that, but you have to have tunes.
Right. Well, sure.
I mean, if you don't have good songs, what are you doing?
Sure. Well, that's what I said earlier too. I mean, you've got great bands, the 513s. The Rightfully Accused. These bands are playing covers on weekends because they can't get their original music out there.
I didn't think they had to do that. In the late 60s, your local bands had to play covers. They in the closet, they wrote their own lyrics. But for the bar owner to pay them, they had to play, what you said, Sugar.
Van Halen was a cover band in the mid-'80s before they or in the mid-'70s before they signed to Warner Brothers.
Van Halen was a great band.
Oh.
But you see, to me, I just finished, as you know, teaching a class at University of Colorado, Denver, and it was the real history of rock and roll.
Right.
And I had to put, the Beatles. There's no one like the Beatles.
No, but absolutely.
They're by themselves.
Absolutely.
Then they have what I call the Holy Trinity: Stones, The Who, and Zeppelin. And then everybody is below that. And as individuals, you had Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morris.
Where do you put Elvis Presley in that category?
Elvis Presley's there, but it was before my time. But when I was in Hawaii with the Stones in '73, I talked to Colonel Parker, and Elvis was doing Blue Hawaii. And he said, the Beatles are probably bigger, but don't let them try and come one at a time. I mean, Elvis was a giant.
Oh, yeah.
But I graduated high school, I shouldn't say that, I'm not that old, the week that Heartbreak Hotel was #1. So Elvis is a king. But what I do, I gave my people an assignment. I said, there's 2 people in the world. In baseball, he's the next Sandy Koufax.
Oh, you
and
hear
in
that all
football,
the time.
the next Gale
Oh,
Sayers.
God.
And in basketball, he's
Next Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Right.
There's 2 people I'd like you to name, I think, maybe 3 now, that there's never going to be a next.
Michael Jackson's one.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Michael Jackson, I think he was just a genius. I don't care what
Well,
anybody
he was,
says
but
about
you're entitled to your opinion.
him. Right.
But I'm talking about...
So I love Barry Fey. Shut the fuck up and let me talk, asshole.
No.
I love this guy.
Well, I would say Albert Einstein.
Oh, you're talking outside of music.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were not
No,
talking about music. Oh,
2
okay.
people that you don't hear the next. You don't say, who's the next Albert Einstein? You don't hear that.
No.
And the Beatles. There's no... Anybody would be pure sacrilege to say the next Beatles.
Yeah.
Now, there's
Well,
one...
Oasis tried that, remember? Oasis said we're going to be bigger than the Beatles, and they got canned.
Well, John Lennon said he was bigger than Jesus Christ.
Well, sure.
But
exactly.
it's debatable. But the other one I might put in was William Shakespeare. But otherwise, you don't hear about a writer being the next Shakespeare. But otherwise, you have to search wide and far for the next Beatles. It's never happened.
It's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I started. And I'm very proud because forget about not knowing who I was when I started to teach the class. But they didn't know a lot of these groups. But by the end of the 8 weeks, they had all those groups on their iPods. And I'm very proud of that because they saw the passion. I played the videos and the songs of Jimi Hendrix doing Wild Thing at Monterey Pop, and The Who, My Generation. And the greatest female performance of all, Janis Joplin, Ball and Chain at Monterey Pop Festival.
Right.
I mean, if that doesn't, it's hard to turn on the radio. Classic rock in 20 years should be exactly the same as it is now.
Yeah, exactly. They should be playing the exact same bands that they're playing right now. I said on this show a while back, and I said it on KBPI radio when I do the interviews over there, I said that Guns N' Roses would have been bigger, if not the same as the Beatles, if Axl Rose wasn't such a dick. Do you agree with that?
No chance in
No
the
chance?
world. In fact, I'd like you to get off the stage, please.
Get off your own show, you
I
dumbass.
mean, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
One of the greatest metal albums ever made.
Great album, but
Yeah.
bigger than who did you say?
Never mind.
No, they would have certainly been, if they, had they
biggest metal
kept that
band of all
up, yeah. I mean, the first real, what they call heavy metal group was Zeppelin.
Black Sabbath.
But Zeppelin was first.
Right.
And it's Ozzy and Black Sabbath, yeah. But what I'm saying is Guns, but they were really self-destructive.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know you're going to ask me about the show at
Yeah, you're reading my mind.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, let me take you back. 1992, Metallica, Guns N' Roses on tour, Mile High Stadium. Axl Rose walks off stage, gets in his limo, goes to the Diamond Cabaret.
Wait a minute. Are you going to tell the story?
Go ahead. But I'm just saying.
You want to tell the
this guy
story.
Here, did you pull a gun on Axl Rose?
No, I did not.
You should have, because I would have. In fact, I would have made him dance. Get back here, you prima donna
right.
son of a bitch.
We'll do the two stories. One is Lars Ulrich's, who is a cool guy from Metallica,
Right.
and mine. And it's exactly the same story up until the gun.
Okay.
But Axl was on stage. They did Welcome to the Jungle. And as was my habit, I go out front on a stadium show to make sure everything's right for the first song. Then I go back. I'm going backstage. The guy says, "What are we going to do, Barry? Axl left." I forgot your monologue. I said, "What the fuck do you mean he left?" So he had gotten down off the stage, hopped in the limousine, and was going somewhere.
Diamond Cabaret, from what I
It was
heard.
not the Diamond Cabaret.
No?
No. He's going back to the Westin,
Oh, the Westin.
his hotel. He would have made it to the Diamond Cabaret, probably. But I'm saying is, so I went up to the limo company. The head guy was in charge. And I said, "You ever want to see another dime of this company's money again, you get that car back here. And the only way he gets out is if he jumps out. And if he jumps out, you leave him in the fucking street. But you get that car back here." So meanwhile, I was in the Lars's Metallica's dressing room, and people starting to get pissed. The band's up there jamming.
Right, I remember Slash did a solo to try to kill time.
They sent a roadie there. Were you at the show?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, far out.
Yeah.
Far out.
In fact, we were like 8 rows back.
More
actually. We were right there.
More important, did you pay?
Yes.
Oh, right. No, but what I'm saying is, and they sent an emissary to try and get them to go back on the stage. And Axl says, "You bozos don't have enough money in your collective bank accounts for me to go back up there." So meanwhile, I go to my car, and I got a 357 in the glove compartment. And I put it in my back pocket, just in case. I don't know what, just in case, but just in case. So eventually the car comes back. People are starting to boo. They're actually going back to the concession stands and throwing their Guns N' Roses shirt and getting Metallica shirts. And the car comes back. His manager talks to him. He goes back up on the stage. And I put 3, how could you say it, bad bouncers at the top of the stairs and 3 bad Denver cops at the bottom. And I say, the only way he goes out again is that way, through the crowd, and let them do what they want to him.
Oh, they would have killed him at that point.
And the manager says, "You can't do that, I'll be pissed off." I said, "Listen, I don't care if Axl's pissed off. I don't care if you're pissed off. I care about them, the 49,000 some people." And so it's over. That's the night of also Slash's bachelor party at the old Embassy Suites. And they're handing out little theater tickets. If you took a blue one, you wanted to get laid. If you took a yellow one, you want a blowjob. If you took a red one, you get both at the party. So, so the night ended well. But but every time Lars sees me now, he says, "Barry, are you packing?" because that's his story. That's his story that I pulled a gun on Axl to get him back on the stage, which is not true.
No. See, I would have.
I would have
taken out an kneecap.
Wait a minute. Had he not gonna, if he was back there and not going to go up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
But it didn't come to that. Wouldn't have shot him because he can't, I guess he could hop around like Ian Anderson. but
Ian Anderson.
Ian Anderson. But no, they don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll fill him in later.
We'll talk amongst ourselves.
Exactly. There's nobody here.
So that was, but please, not the Beatles.
Okay. Biggest metal band, though, ever. Would you agree with that?
Well, if you take Zeppelin out of the realm of being just a metal band, they could have been AC/DC. And, the Deep Purple was a metal band, too.
Yeah.
There was some great music back. I mean, in fact, the next to last class at the school, I took all of them. Fleetwood Mac, Deep Purple, all the bands, and played them. And I said, they're forgettable compared to those top 4 that I mentioned.
Right.
But the music was great. Now, I mean, my God.
Fleetwood Mac, though, was a hell of a band.
Well, first time I had Fleetwood Mac was in '69. And there was no Stevie or Lindsey Buckingham.
Right.
In fact, that was my second time I sang a commercial. Would you like me to sing it for you?
Sure. Who wants to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
On the 5th day of Christmas, Feyline brings to you Fleetwood Mac, Johnny Winter, Zephyr, and the Flock, and all for $3.50. $3.50. Yeah. And that's when.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you sang the second one, I must sing the first one. You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Vanilla fudge is coming to town. Now, that was significant. December 26, 1968, was the first show of Led Zeppelin in North America. They weren't announced. They were put on a week before the show. No one knew. I got up on it was a revolving stage in the auditorium arena. I got up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Led Zeppelin." No one knew who they were. But they gave me a copy of their album.
Oh.
I took it down to KLZ-FM at the time. I mean, come on, man.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Look at I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a passion. I know. I'm with you. Let me ask you something about. I don't know how we're running on time, and frankly, I don't care. I want to get your opinion. VH1 MTV.
Hate it.
I just brought it up. Hate it.
I
Dog
went.
crap. I mean, is that pretty much?
I'm not just talking now. Now it's irrelevant. But when I went, I was a VIP. I went to the opening of the exhibition of MTV at the Roseland Ballroom.
Oh.
And everybody came out just kvelling. They just loved it. I said, I hate it. It's not going to be good for music. Now, you're talking about later. I don't think it was ever good for the real music, because music to me was memories. I can remember what song was popular. Like I said, Heartbreak Hotel when I graduated.
Sure.
Where I was, what my condition of life was when I first heard a song. There's no imagination anymore, because you say, where'd you first heard it? Oh, man, it was on TV. You don't have to remember. If I was a record label at the time, I would have not let them 6 to 8 weeks put it on TV before they heard the music, so they could get it inside.
Right.
Right. But no, it's been bad. Now, I mean, it's like Rolling Stone. In '67, Rolling Stone was a Bible. Now it's a teen
it's a
magazine.
rag.
It's
It's a rag.
disgraceful, man.
How about Kanye West posing on the cross on the cover of Rolling Stone? Was that just?
Kanye West, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, M. Diddy, any Diddy you want. I mean, come on. It's not music.
No.
I mean, I go back, when I first booked a tour, a rap tour, you're talking about Dr. Dre and Snoop. And Snoop's album hadn't come out yet. But it had that, it's like this and like that. You know what I'm saying? I thought they were musicians pretending to be gangsters. I didn't know they were gangsters trying to be musicians, you know. but I had no, and I had all these dates sold out all across the West. And then he gets arrested for aiding and abetting a murder or something like that, which everybody does at the time. But no, I didn't realize what it was. But I mean, you talked about Snoop, Dre, Tupac, maybe Biggie Smalls. That's about it. I mean, the rest of it, I don't.
What about like Run DMC, Public Enemy?
They were before, yeah, and NWA.
NWA.
First time
Too Short.
First time I heard NWA was at my house, and my young son was playing it. I made him get it out, throw it out. I said, "You can't play that in this house." Little did I know, but I'm saying, let me ask you, because I'm not where do they get these tremendous sums of money? Where does Jay-Z get it? Producing? Do they sell that many records?
Well, I think what happens is they get a cut of the records. It's all marketing. It's all merching. That's where it comes from.
But they can't play it. I saw P. Diddy try and do a concert at Fiddler's Green. It's called what? Comfort Dental now? Or something like that.
Comfort Dental Amphitheater.
He was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Ludacris. Get out the way, bitch. No, move, bitch. Get out the way. That was it. And I stood there just transfixed. But P. Diddy was the headliner. He was terrible.
That's the greatest thing I've ever had on this show. Barry Fey, get out of the way, bitch. I love it. That is awesome. That is so good. I mean, I'm with you. Rap, I can't. It's unlistenable.
But it must have sold just volumes.
Oh yeah.
These people are rich. What's the guy whose name who does the Def Jam? Russell Simmons.
Russell Simmons.
They say he's a billionaire.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From what?
Marketing. He's got great marketing. He's got great publicists.
But when you think of the classic rock bands, okay, the Who just played. I think they got $2 million for the Super Bowl. By the way, what did you think of the show? I thought it was great.
I thought it was okay.
Okay.
I
oh,
thought
fuck
it was
you. I love the light show, the halftime show, and all that. I mean, I thought it was very good. I mean, because I didn't think Bruce was any good. I frankly didn't think U2 was that good.
Prince was good. I liked Prince.
Yeah, well, Prince is something
Prince is
different.
good.
Yeah, and the Stones were all right.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Tom Petty was okay.
Okay. See, I'm not always out. It's subjective, you know.
Yeah,
they got four. In fact, I was talking to Bill Kerbersley. In fact, it was the last concert I've been to. Bill is the manager, and Roger Daltrey invited me to his show at the Paramount because that's the only way I go.
Right.
I'm not a dilettante, but I mean, if I'm invited, I go. Otherwise, I don't go.
I got comp tickets when Ringo Starr was in town too. That was the last concert I went to. Was
Ringo
Starr at the film.
Comp tickets, actually, is not the same as being invited.
Yeah, I know.
Being invited is when they call you up. Hey, Barry, what are you doing, man?
I'm not very close with
Okay,
Ringo,
as long as you.
Me and Ringo are like this.
I'll tell you about Ringo. He cost me so much money over the years. I applied to the IRS to take him off as a dependent, and they wouldn't let me do it. But I'm saying, getting back to the Roger Daltrey show, they told me that they had been invited to play the Super Bowl. And I said, don't say anything yet. I said, can I come on and announce you? Because that'd be so cool. But they said, we only get 13 minutes, man. I said, well, so what? But
13
I didn't get invited. But then I had the heart procedure, and I couldn't have gone anyway. But
you okay now, right?
If I die on the show, what a great show that would be.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, I'll be remembered for years.
I mean, you'll have an exclusive, man. No, I'm fine.
Good.
But no, it's God, what did I say that was so funny? I like to repeat. Oh yeah, move, bitch, get out the way.
Get out the way. That was the best line ever on this show.
I don't have that many, so I want to repeat them.
We also have. I want to show this. We are giving some of these away. The new Music Buzz, coincidentally, you're on this week's issue of Music Buzz magazine. And Barry signed, what do we got? We got 4 copies here that he signed. We're going to give 4 away to crowd members tonight. What do you think they should do for it?
Well, since they're free, anything, what the hell are you giving them?
Let's ask them trivia questions. And whoever gets the trivia questions right, then they get a magazine.
Are you going to make up the questions?
Let's make up the questions.
Well, Christy's birthday.
Oh, Christy's birthday. We got to give one to Christy.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
I don't know Christy. Of course, this is your show. You can do anything you want.
Well, all right, let's do trivia questions. Although this is we got a really young crowd.
No,
here.
it would have
I don't know
to.
if this is gonna.
I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
have to be.
Well, we can ask her, how does it feel to have 8 pounds of makeup put on your face? That's not really a trivia question. I don't know any. Well, Let me
What,
see.
okay, what,
That's
who
pretty-
can name the 4 Beatles? You can? Guy in the back. Name them.
Ringo Starr, John Lennon, George Harrison, and Paul McCartney.
Come on up. Come on up. There you go.
Reminds me of the guy who told me he thought Paul McCartney was in a group
There you go.
called.
Thank you very much. I
Sit.
have to shake your hand. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's very fine. Thank you.
Cool.
They thought Paul McCartney was in Wings.
In Wings, yeah.
That's it. No, trivia question, but they
Trivia
wouldn't-
questions. What
He
else?
would know, but he's going to win every question.
Let's see here. I'm trying to stay in our realm.
Who
here.
was the original? No, he wouldn't. Who was the original guitar player in Fleetwood Mac? One of the great guitar players of all
good,
time.
that's a good one. Original guitar player for Fleetwood Mac.
You know? You don't know. Well, that's not going to. It's Peter Green.
Peter Green. Okay, there you go. All right, I'll ask a couple from my genre.
Okay, sure.
Let's do what?
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla. Holy cow! Let's see who listened to the monologue. What artist had 4 number 1?
Beach Boys.
Beach Boys. Come on up. There were people listening. All right, here's a bonus question. Name the 80s song that put them in the 4 straight decades. Kokomo. There it is. Boy, we got a smart crowd here. This is awesome. All right,
Why don't
one
you
more.
just throw it on the floor and the fastest one gets it?
I was gonna say we can have whoever takes their top off first.
Oh, I know. I got it.
You should give that one to a lady.
You want to give this to a lady?
Yeah.
We got to give one to. Let's give. Which one of these 3 do you think?
I don't talk. I don't make those types of decisions.
Whoever.
Give the kids a hip hop question.
A hip hop. I don't know any hip hop trivia. Come on, man. Name.
All right, who's the manager of Dre and Snoop?
Name the 3 members of NWA. We're striking out here.
Go take the magazines back.
Who beat Rihanna's ass?
I don't know.
What she had coming.
Wow! Holy cow! All right. Well, what do you? Let's give it to the girl who was on before you.
That's fine.
Come on up. Yeah.
No, so you take this to all your friends,
All right,
and they
well,
say, "Who the
first
hell
what
is
we have
that?"
to do, come here. What we have to do, you got to do a spin. You got to do it. Okay, what camera are we on? We going to get Jason? Oh, I got to see that tattoo. Hold on one second.
Yeah, she has a tattoo.
Holy cow, look at that, Barry.
Oh,
look
it's
at
a
that.
pleasure. Yeah.
Wow.
Painful.
What, is that painful?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what camera
Why
are we on?
do you
She's gotta
do that
she's
to
gotta do a spin
yourselves?
before okay, there you go. Just do a quick spin for us. Holy cow. Thank you, honey. Oh, my God. Barry to be 18 again.
Oh, you want her to come back and say that?
No, you're good. All right, cool. All right, give it up for Barry Fey. He's going to hang up here. We are going to go. Where are we going? We're going back to X Saloon with our feature band of the night. Rightfully Accused is playing live. When we come back, he's going to hang with me. He's more with Barry Fey.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, dude.
Before Barry, he just told me we were off the air. He wants to come back. We're going to come back. He's going to come back. We just scratched the surface tonight. An hour is not nearly long enough for a genius like this. So he's going to come back another time, maybe sometime in the summer. Is that good for you?
Yeah, I'm about to embark on one of what I think is my last great project, but I think I should be here pretty well through the summer.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we will
telling
get Barry Fey back
It's a
out.
pleasure.
It was great. It was great having Barry Fey
As
on.
long
The
as you
stories
fix
are
up
great.
that one line.
I will fix up that one line. You got it.
I'm
I will not
not-
compare the Guns N' Roses to the Beatles ever again.
No, and you will not introduce he's one of the greatest.
Okay. He is the greatest.
Thank you.
There it is. Captions. He's going to hang up here. Captions, if you have a caption, send them to captions.conezone@gmail.com. If I read your caption on the air, I will send you out one of my CDs that just came out. It's called Open 24/7. There it is there. Open 24/7. If I read your headline on the air, I will send you out one of my CDs. My first caption reads, I've been told we got 5 minutes, so I got to whip through these. My first caption reads, because Denver Public School cutback, 7-year-old Carson Branson has to cook his own lunch if he wants to eat today. And I'll show those to you. You can.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Obama the Great as he makes your money disappear right before your very eyes.
So people send this to you?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Well, these are mine, but yeah, people do. They send them in, and I read them on the air and that. Can you get that shot? Okay, good enough. Scottsdale, Arizona natives like to keep one immigrant, Maria Gonzalez, around to make her perform donkey shows for their own amusement.
He's so wrong.
Thank you, honey. All right. We gotta. All right, I gotta hold this one because this one's big. We got a pack of Entertainment Tonight reporters strapped down Trevor Broussard to take some of his poop from his diaper as a memento before he becomes the biggest pop star in the world. I guess I shouldn't have even read that. I should have just put that picture up there. And
They're not getting better.
they're not getting better. All right, why aren't these staying up here? All right,
Let me hold it.
You gonna very. All right, here we go. That's good. All right, so the Dixie Chicks are trying to put aside their differences so they can plan a 2010 summer concert tour. Okay, this one is pretty wrong too. Pope Benedict, while doing a crossword puzzle, asked an assistant for a 4-letter word for a woman that ends in UNT. When the assistant responded with ant, the Pope asked for an eraser. All right, here you go. Speaking of wrong.
Have you ever thought of cutting out this part of the show?
Groupie Ruth
Have her
Ginsburg.
come back up or something?
Should we bring the hotties back up here?
Yeah.
Groupie Ruth Ginsburg had a bitchin' time backstage with Foghat while they were in town last week.
Oh my God.
And here we see.
And you're trying to get this in LA, right?
Here we see Tracy Chapman getting tracks together for her 2010 World Tour. All right. They're turning on us, Barry. They're turning.
No, what do you mean us? I got nothing to do with it.
Pascual Perez helps his wife along as they ran late for the Cinco de Mayo celebration. Are you ready for this? Here we go. This is the one right here.
This is the end.
This is the climactic ending to our show tonight. This one here. Okay. Stay. And finally, in memory of Michael Jackson's death, energy drink Red Bull released a new clothing line in Jackson's honor. When Red Bull representatives were asked why they were compelled to do this, they responded with, since they both had something in common, they were both known for coming in small cans. Barry's out of here. I want to thank Kat Munoz, my hottie of the week. I want to thank Rightfully Accused at X Saloon. I want to thank the legendary Barry Fey. And most of all, this show goes out once again to Ronnie James Dio tonight. This is for you, brother. Next week, I'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your night. Later.